Hey guys, it's Mike with another Gilded Guardians video. We are on the main account today, taking a peek at where we're at with progress, and I have had a couple things that I've been working on, hopefully to see if they're a benefit. So to kind of give you an idea where we're at right now, I have Tianlong sitting here at level 180. We got Tusgrog at 170, Grizel at 150. I am running Aquiris at 154, and then recently I've been running Aquiris alongside Flix, and I think it has been a benefit. So I am going to actually try to press on the account from where we were last time when I couldn't pass a level before we do anything to the account, and then we're going to make some adjustments. So just to see if this composition utilizing two healers is a benefit. Now in this particular composition, Grizel is assisting my damage dealer, Tusgrog is tanking up all of my damage up front, and Tianlong is providing all of my magic damage in the back. So that is the way that this composition works. But with the two healers going on, there's that puppy. With the two healers going on, it does seem to be a little more survivable, and Tianlong does do quite a bit of damage and will eventually get through most of these waves. So I would like to try that. Then what I would like to do is I'm going to come back. We're actually going to work on ascending Aquiris and getting her maxed out to level 10, hopefully Radiance level 4, and then start working on a Tusgrog that we're looking to do 10 star and hopefully Radiance level 4. So we'll start working in that direction and kind of go through that process and what that looks like. But first, let's jump into the adventure mode and see if we can make some progress. Alright, so where we left off was the Cathedral. We are on to challenge 3 here, and we have not been able to get past this. So when I run this composition, I start with Tusgrog up front. I put Grizel alongside him because she's going to immediately go back behind Tianlong, and then I put the healers on either side of Tianlong in the back and the middle. And then obviously if we don't make it through, we start to kind of play around with that composition. But we'll give this a shot, see how we do. We do have Tianlong maxed out at level 180, which does max out all of his skills. As a legendary character, you max out their skills at level 180, so that is a benefit. I typically lean towards doing this here and then starting the battle with the extra 300 energy, and it'll give you 300 energy at the beginning of all 3 of the battles for the challenge. So I think that is one of the better ways to go because it does help you along the entire way. We're going to go with the Bone Shield, I think. Physical resistant magic damage. And I think we're going to go with Bone Shield. There's an extra 25% health we got to take off, but there's no other benefits or limiting anything here. So we're going to get this underway, see how it goes, and see if this composition does actually let us progress, because I have not. Yeah, see, Tusgrog's already down, so we didn't get to any heals or anything in that space quick enough. I say we give it a shot and just try to play with if we happen to switch him with Grizel up front, if that does anything for him. So we'll give this guy a shot here. Ideally we're getting through here with all 5 of the champions, but so far we've lost Tusgrog, we've lost Tianlong, we've lost Aquiris. So it's just been kind of a brutal situation trying to get through to our abilities. But I think we're just going to let this one play out, give it a shot here. We've got some abilities going. We did lose our tank, which is probably worst case scenario because we don't have anybody up front tanking anything up. But that being said, we do have quite a bit of healing going on here. So let's go ahead and take off our abilities so we can stack those up moving into the next level. And then we'll work on this, getting this guy dead. But we're plugging away, getting through. He got some heals there, fortunately, because he took a pretty bad hit there. This is taking quite a bit of time. We'll go back to 2 times mode. We don't need to sit here and watch this on 1 time. So we're a minute into this battle. Unfortunately, with Tusgrog down, we don't have anybody to tank up in the next wave. But potentially with the extra 2 healers and the immunity from Aquiris, if Tianlong happens to be up front, it happens to be the one taking damage, and he has immunity, he does have a lot of healing in his kit to help the 2 of them out to keep him topped off. But we did get through that wave. We have 4 of our characters basically full health, so that's awesome. Alright, moving on to that second wave. We'll take Graveyard all day long. That's a freebie. I don't know that we've ever actually gotten this far. I think I've died in that first room every time. So this is actually showing a little bit of progress here. But I would like to see if we could get onto the third room and maybe even beyond. But we're going to need some help on the... all right, we're going to start this over. I forgot to turn my abilities back on. So we'll start this over, get the abilities back on. We got him in the back. She's coming back to support him. Get the abilities on right away. And then hopefully we've stacked those abilities up so something will happen. Although everybody's got immunity on. I don't know if that's for the first 5 seconds or however long that is. But Tian Long's ability is going over 12 seconds, just kind of ticking off health, bringing them down. We are still topped off with health mostly. So we made it through that second wave. So that is pretty good. I don't think we've ever been this far before. All right, so we are into the fifth and final room. I don't think I've ever made it this far before. We're fairly topped off with health with a little bit extra on Flix here, but we do have her ability coming in, probably kick Tian Long off pretty quickly. And then we have Flix and Aquiris with their abilities. So hopefully we might have enough to get through this room, but we'll see if we can get some damage out there quick enough and protect everybody in the meantime. So hopefully we did lose Aquiris. That's okay. We do still have Tian Long, and he is doing some damage. I think we got it. So we did make progress. Now, obviously, we lost almost everybody along the way, but this composition does show that it does make you more survivable. So if you do have a damage dealer, now Tian Long, I'm a little spoiled because I don't think a Darizda would have been able to do it. I don't think an Atticus would have been able to do it. He is kind of a special champion, but if you do have that AoE champion that's really doing a lot of work for you, and you can afford to bring in a second healer instead of a second damage dealer, that could go a long way. The other option you could look into is potentially replacing Grizel with a second healer. Now, I think Grizel was pretty crucial because she got Tian Long cycling through his ultimates, and I think without that we would not have made it. But we did make some progress on the account, which is pretty exciting because it's been a very long time on my account since I've actually been able to beat anything. So now that we've done that, I do want to jump into the Guardians here. I want to actually see about upgrading my Aquiris and getting her to level 10, hopefully Radiance level 3. So if we look at Enlighten, we have the Soul Stones to do it. Alright, so we're going to jump in here on my Aquiris. She is a warrior Aquiris, which is why her coloring is a little different there. I was fortunate enough when I ascended her, she became a warrior, so I started building her. Ideally, you get to 10 stars. The best you can do is Radiance level 5 if you don't miss at all. But after Radiance level 2, you're not guaranteed 3 or 4. You have a % chance of it hitting. So when you go to Enlightenment, I was just noticing this is kind of interesting. So I have a Aquiris here at Enlighten level 8, Radiance level 1. If I use her, it takes me to 75% chance that I will move from Radiance level 3 to Radiance level 4 on my Warrior Aquiris. If I don't use her and I use the standard level 3, it's a 60% chance. Now, if I put them both on there, it becomes 75. So the 75% chance is the best that I can do. So it's kind of interesting. So for me, I'm going to hold on to this Aquiris and probably put her on the market or something like that, seeing how utilizing her doesn't increase my chances from the 75. It's going to be 75 either way. And this one I did look on the Token Trove, and she's only worth about $5. So I don't know it's a huge benefit as far as keeping her to sell her. So I'm just going to go ahead and utilize her to do this upgrade. It gives me a 75% chance of hitting Radiance level 4 and on my Warrior Aquiris. So we're going to hit Enlighten. Now if she doesn't hit Radiance level 4, the puppy is going crazy. If she doesn't hit Radiance level 4, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to utilize the Flames in order to move her Radiance level up from here on out, because she is maxed at level 10. Now she did hit Radiance level 4, so that is awesome, but I do still have the ability to increase her Radiance level by using these Flames. But as you go through these Flames, you get from actually burning, so if I were to go into here and recycle a character like this Aquiris, oops, where are we at here? Recycle, and we're going to go to that Aquiris that I have here, I'm gonna get 250 flames for recycling, and that was 40 ascension seals in order to get her ascended. So I'm getting 250 flames for 40 ascension seals, which is honestly just not very good. If we come back in here and take a look at what it would take to actually try to increase her radiance level on this Aquiris here, it's going to take almost 2,000. So I would have to burn 8 of those characters. So 8 times 40, the quick math gets me 320 ascension seals that I would have to burn in order to have a chance. And I think the increased chance is this 3%. And it increases over time, so every time you do it, it gets better. But the chances of you hitting it that first time is slim to none, and it's just a lot of resources that go into hitting that. So this is by far the worst way to try to increase radiance levels. So when you're actually ascending the champion is when, enlightening. When you're enlightening the champion after they're ascended, that is the best way to increase your radiance level. And we're gonna roll through Tusgrog here, and I'm gonna build a new Tusgrog to show you how that process works. But we were extremely fortunate with a 75% chance, got the radiance level 4 we were looking for on the Warrior Aquiris, so I'm super excited about that. Got those extra stats and so forth. So we're gonna keep pushing on there. I did also buy one of her orbs. The Water Sprite Plus also removes all debuffs on the target ally. I think the one that I had, I think it was Protective Ward, where it gave everybody on the team a 300% of her attack, I believe, as a shield. And I think that's a way better ability than the one that I ended up with on. That was not my free to play. So on the main account, I don't think this is a super great ability. But we did get attack, which is what you want for her because it will increase her healing ability with a higher attack. All of her heals are based off of attack. So that part was good. And then I did also buy Tusgrog's belt. And Tusgrog's belt, you got the Arctic Wolf, where he can howl and increase the attack of all allies by 10% for 6 seconds. So for your damage dealers, that's going to be a pretty big increase to add to Tusgrog as a tank. So what I'm going to do, because right now, the reason I'm building a Tusgrog is I'm on Enlightenment level 9, Radiance level 2. So if I were actually to do one more onto Tusgrog, I'm pretty confident that he is probably going to end up at a 10-3, which I think a 10-4 is achievable because you have a pretty good chance of getting to 10-4 and a pretty okay chance of getting to 10-5. So I think by building a new Tusgrog, I can at minimum get to level 3, but I think I probably will get to level 4 or 5, whereas here the best I can do is level 3. So I am going to kind of go through these Tusgrogs down here in my account somewhere way down here, and I'm going to ascend them. Hopefully by ascending them, I will be able to get a warrior or elite version or something kind of special that I can build. But if not, I'll just start with the lowest serial number and go from there. But I think we're going to need 8 of these guys. So I'll jump into my resources that I keep stacked up in here and print out a couple Tusgrogs here. I think we're going to need 4 more. And we'll use those. All right, so we're gonna grab that first Tusgrog. We're gonna ascend them. I only have 201, which means I can only do 4 at 41. So we'll just start building him and see how we end up. But we're gonna go ahead and ascend him here. Again, we're hoping that this is the moment that he could turn into a warrior or elite or champion or mythical. We're going to ascend all of them because we need them ascended in order to give us our radiance up chance. So we're going to go that route and see if we can get a variation of them. So again, that's going to be the same. Come in here and ascend. I think we got 2 more chances at this. And we'll hopefully get something. I think there's a 9% chance that you get a warrior version of Tusgrog and like 1% or less for everything else. So it's not super common that you're able to get that champion in a warrior, but if you're ascending 8 of them in a row, you might have a good chance of getting some kind of version of him. But we did not get him, unfortunately, so that's okay. We're going to go ahead and jump onto our highest, or excuse me, our lowest serial number, and we're going to start building him. So as we build him, we're going to go into this Enlightenment for Tusk Grog. We're going to grab, so if you notice, we use a Tusk Grog that we have not ascended yet. We have a 0% chance of increasing the Radiance level. So we don't do that. We're going to grab one of these. We have 100%. So for the first 2 Radiance levels, we're going to have 100% chance of increasing to Radiance level 2. So now he's going to be basically a 4-2, and this takes a little bit of time because it's actually, this is when he's created into an NFT, and there, you know, once you start adjusting the NFT, there's a lot of information that goes into that. So we're going to go ahead and enlighten him again. Now in this particular enlightenment, we're not utilizing a champion, so it doesn't have a chance of increasing his ability or his Radiance level unless we use the flames, which we've seen is a pretty costly way to try to improve them. So we're going to grab this one here, enlighten him again. You can see again for Radiance level 2, we've got 100% chance for him to go up to Radiance level 2. And then we're going to move into here, and that might be all we can really do. We're going to enlighten him again, take him to level 7, so he'll be a 7-2. Again, a 0% chance because we weren't using a champion. Okay, so this is only 1 champion. I thought it moved to 2 from here on out. So we're going to use him. Now we only have a 68.2% chance of going to level 3. So we're going to give it a shot and see if we can get that little bit of luck that we need in order for him to go to level 3. So we're hoping for a level 8-3 after this guy here. But this is okay, we got it. So we lucked out there. So we got the 8-3. So now when we utilize these champions, and it's not going to let me use that because he's in a party. When I put 2 champions in that are ascended, I always get these mixed up. The ascended, the enlightened, the radiance. Is like there's so much going on. But if I use 2 champions that are ascended, it does increase my chances for him to be for his Radiance level 2 increase. So I am going to have to sit tight until I get more Ascension scrolls or Ascension seals, and then be able to upgrade him from there. I also don't have enough soul stones, but we do have him on the sidelines. He's already better than my Tusgrog I've got going on, who's at level, where is he at? Level 9-2, I believe is where he's at. So 9-2. This guy is sitting on 8-3, so I am actually going to move everything over to the other Tusgrog. In fact, let's take a peek and see if that's actually true. So if we take him down to bare bones, his overall power rating is 23,201, whereas here we're actually at 20,142. But as soon as I'm able to upgrade him one more time, then it'll be he'll definitely be better. So we're going to go ahead and build him out anyway, and then as soon as I have those materials, we'll just know that he's going to be better. When we move to level 9, we do have the opportunity for him to increase his enlightenment level, so he could be a 9-4 by the time we get there, and then potentially a 10-5 if we get the 9-4. If we miss 9 and we get 9-3 again, then on 10 we have another chance to get to 10-4. So either way, we should have a pretty good chance at this point of hitting at minimum a 10-4 champion with Tusgrog. Whereas here, at best, we're hitting a 10-3. So that's why we're rebuilding him. But I think that hopefully provided some clarity as far as how to ascend champions and what the Radiance does and all of that. The Radiance, every time you do get that increase, it just improves the champion stats just a little bit. So obviously the higher Radiance level, the better off that champion's going to be. And then the best way to achieve Radiance is during this Enlightenment, not utilizing the flames later. But to be fair, you're only going to be at best a 10-5 coming out of this. So at some point you're going to have to utilize these flames in order to get that Radiance level any higher than a 10-5. At least for an epic. Obviously with legendaries, they go up to level 15 on their stars. So you have more opportunity to increase the Radiance level along the way. Although it's going to take quite a few champions. And then with a legendary, in order to ascend a legendary, you're looking at, he's already ascended. Here we go. We're looking at 187, and it does vary. I've seen as low as like 130 or something like that for Thorit, maybe. He's at 140. Oxalis is probably down there a little bit, 145, and this varies and changes all the time depending on who is making these champions and how many there are that are being ascended into NFTs. So we're at 162 for Ashwin, and then Tybor, I think Tybor is one of the lowest. Yeah, 121. So not very many people are ascending Tybor, so they're bringing the cost down to ascend him, and then hopefully you'll see more of them in the game. I think he's just a pretty lackluster legendary, so that's probably why you're just not seeing a lot of him ascended in the game. So that's what I got for you on the main account today. I do think there is a lot of merit to be had utilizing the 2 healer composition if you have a damage dealer that can do enough to get you through. And I think Tusgrog does some and will help. Short of Tianlong, potentially you could try for a Darizda. I think that her linear assault could be effective, but ultimately everything she does is a single target with the exception of the linear assault. She just doesn't do a lot of AoE damage. Potentially an Atticus, although he consistently overthrows the enemy with his bombs. So from there, I'm trying to think of an AoE damage dealer that's free to play that would really do the trick. I mean, you could maybe get away with like a Palmera or someone in that space that just is there to do some damage, or if you had the right gear set on a Marana or somebody, ideally in the back row, let your tank up the damage up front and then let your back row damage dealer do it. But you saw we lost Tusgrog in the very first level and we still made it through all 3 of the levels, so the tank himself was actually not super necessary for us to make that happen either. But I do think playing around with that composition with 2 healers could be beneficial to your account depending on where you are. So that's what I got. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you next time.